Restaurant Association of South Africa says it will challenge any new lockdown restrictions. Wendy Alberts, CEO of the Restaurant Association, joining us live now. Wendy, thanks for your time. So you're not happy about the possibility of new restrictions. Why?
Absolutely. We're going to argue the lockdown as well as the new proposed curfew as well as the restrictions on alcohol sales within our establishment. I listened to your previous presenter, and there's such an urgency that needs to be put into effect, and there is this dramatic stage that's been presented for the chaos that is supposedly happening, which is not happening in our industry. Firstly, we've had not one single consultation by government to talk to us about the spread of COVID within our establishments. The second part is that of all the registers that we have collected, and we've been so disciplined at taking people's details, their temperatures, as well as their contact numbers, not one authority has walked into any of our establishments and collected the evidence of these registers that we've had to complete to go back to do any type of contact tracing. So in retrospect, we also haven't been notified by any compliance officer that there's been a case of COVID in our establishments, or been notified by the authorities that a particular patron who had visited our authorities had been into the establishment was in actual fact positive. So we've not been notified. So if COVID has been existing and we are a super spreader and we are a high target area for COVID, why has the authorities not been in to talk to any of our establishments? The next question that we have is that we want the scientific evidence that outlines that we are responsible and that COVID is in our restaurants, because we certainly have not been given that. We've given government 3 months to engage with us, to talk to our establishments, to look at solutions, that if we are responsible for spreading COVID, then what mechanisms can we do to work with together instead of destroying our industry again and just destroying the economy? We've appealed to government to say we need to do everything possible before we get to closing down the industry or bringing restrictions on our industry. And they've failed to work with us in supplying mechanisms that will hold our industry safe and for us to be able to continue to trade through the very difficult times. Cutting the curfew and restricting the liquor is not going to stop COVID. COVID is here for a very long time to come, for the next 24 months. And we are asking government today to please outline to the restaurant industry what have they done to safeguard our industry and to assist us in ensuring that we are not the transmission of COVID within our establishments.
All right, Wendy, so I just need to get clarity on this. You say that you're waiting for, government hasn't gotten to a point where we've seen you particularly blamed for a spread in infections, especially with people sitting in the same restaurant. But I don't know if you've been out there in South Africa, but I have. And you go to many restaurants, tables are close together, people are drinking and turning restaurants into party spots. As the body that's overlooking this industry, do you not have any responsibility to actually make sure that the protocols are followed as well, so that we wouldn't be sitting here having this discussion?
Again, I'm going to outline the same challenge that we've spoken about for the last week. We are the authorities coming into our establishments stating that we are responsible for COVID, or that there's been incidences of COVID within our establishments. We are the authorities to collect the registers that we have kept and that they can do contact tracing. We understand, and we are no experts on COVID. We will continue to ensure that compliance takes place in our restaurants. We will encourage that we need to be responsible. But at some point in time, government needs to push the responsibility back on the individual, on the businesses, on the corporates, on the country, and for us to take adult-informed decisions. And it's quite simple. We need to wear masks, we need to avoid close contact, we need to avoid crowded places, and we need to avoid confined spaces. So what we have learned in our 9 months of COVID in the restaurant industry, that those are the transmitters within COVID. So we are the experts, and why the science has not been working with industry over the last 3 months to ensure that we can do everything within our disciplines, not to be challenged or to be accused of being the responsible spread of COVID within the restaurant industry. All that the lockdown is going to do is it's going to cause further illegal gatherings. People are going to go and have underground parties. They are going to take alcohol. They are going to be in spaces where there is no regulations, there is no sanitization, and there's absolutely no control of social distancing or crowd control. It is a holiday season. There's no better place to continue to allow us to trade, to lift the curfew for us to be able to accommodate everybody that needs to celebrate, to be able to have their meals, to enjoy a place to eat and celebrate with their families, The holiday season is upon us. We've had absolutely no support from government in any way whatsoever to rebuild our industry. Not from suppliers that blacklisted us, landlords have challenged us, the banks have cut our lending, and the only people who have supported us is the consumer. And if they felt that they were at risk, and they felt that we were a super spreader of COVID, they certainly would not be supporting the establishments. And I think this is an irresponsible take when there's been no other solution that's been presented other than just to cut the curfew and to cut liquor restrictions.
All right, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Wendy Alberts from the Restaurant Association.